For the next 30 minutes, we will explore the unexplained. From mysteries beyond our galaxy to ghostly phenomena in our own backyard, we will dive into our psychic abilities and explore everything from conspiracies to the just plain weird. Welcome to 30-odd minutes. If the truth is out there, we will find it. But only by sheer accident.
Yeah! All right!
Hey, welcome to 30-odd minutes, coming to you live from the cauldron here, deep in the woods, some hidden secret cave or something or other. Good evening, I'm your host, Jeff Belanger. Welcome back. Tonight we're going to get witchy. We're going to talk about conspiracies. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. We love the odd here, no doubt about that. But, you know, what's odd to one person is perfectly normal to someone else. And tonight you don't want to miss the show. First, we're actually going to talk about some black unmarked helicopters, men in black. Could be kind of a conspiracy going on. And then a little bit later, we're going to talk witchcraft with Salem Witch Christian Day. But first, if you've been watching the news recently, you know that abductions made the news. Mr. Moniz, why don't you come on up and talk to us about what you were recently involved with. Get nice and close. How are you?
All right, Jeff. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, man. Thanks.
Kind of weird being on this end of the camera.
It's great to have you up here. So recently, there was a program, right?
Yes, on ABC.
On ABC, talking about abductions.
Correct.
And sometimes what happens is the media goes in with an agenda, which is unfortunate. You know, you hope people would be objective. But so what's going on with abductions? Now, you're actually helping counsel some people to go through this.
Yeah, I help counsel a lot of people that have gone through abduction experiences. Abductions happen, you know, around the world 24/7.
Right.
What most people know about abductions are what they see on television or read. So
right.
That's one of the reasons that ABC wanted to, you know, go and do a show about it. And it turned out that they had another agenda.
That's too bad. But the good news is we've got a show.
Yeah, we do.
And our numbers are rivaling ABC, I understand.
At 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, the good news is we're going to get some folks here on the phone, and these were also involved, right?
Yes.
Audrey and her twin sister Deb Hewins.
As best we can determine, yes.
As best we can. Now they said they've been abducted since they were children, multiple times. And what's more than just being abducted, they claim that shortly before or after the abduction, that they've seen these unmarked black helicopters in the sky. They call them men in black, claiming that they're being spied on basically by our own government, people who are you know, looking to find some answers. So we're going to get them on the phone here in just a second and do a show you some clips that they've captured. Hopefully we're going to get them.
They should be there.
Hey, it's Jeff Belanger. You're live on 30-odd minutes. Is this Audrey? Audrey, can you hear us?
You.
Hey, Audrey, can you hear us? Oh, that's too bad. This is going to be that kind of night. We're going to try again. Oh, man. All right, it's going to be that kind of night. Matt, talk about this case, especially from March 2009.
Okay. The best way to put it would be to let them do it.
Right.
I feel uncomfortable, you know, explaining their case without them being present. But they've been regularly visited for a number of years, and in March they had another close encounter with not only them, as they call them,
right,
but close encounters with various military helicopters right after an event.
Right. Well, let's try to get him on the phone again. Maybe we can do a little better. Oh, let's hang up on him.
Your call is very important to me.
All right. It's going to be that kind of night. We've had a few difficulties with our guests. This is how it goes.
It's just plain odd.
It is odd. If anyone wonders if we go live and uncut, here's your answer.
Here we go.
We're going to fish.
A razor's edge.
Whoa, we're going to fish flop here and try to get them on the phone again, because it would be great to talk to them.
It would.
And it's you know, we have the opportunity to kind of set the record straight here. Hey, Audrey. Audrey.
Hello.
Can you hear us, Audrey?
Hello.
Audrey, hold on a minute.
Hello.
Yeah, not going well tonight. So we're going to sing and dance.
And hope our other guest is able to be contacted.
Pop in. Let's show the photos. Anyway, I spoke to Audrey earlier today. I know you've talked to her extensively. Here's the thing. She claims that shortly before or sometimes right after her abduction events that she sees these helicopters in the sky. And there's one of them. These are military helicopters. Obviously, you can see from the photos. And here's the other thing. They're quite low. She lives in Maine, a small town in Maine. And she said these things are hovering around. There's another one. And another one. So she's having these events go on. She said they're following her. All kinds of other things. Unmarked, there's another one. This is one that her sister took with a cell phone, so it's kind of a grainy picture. And Matt, I mean, what do you think when you see these things?
Well, some of them are just your standard military helicopter, but the last one you had is they used as a type of surveillance helicopter.
Right.
And that particular one was one of the ones that she wound up having in her backyard.
Right.
And so I really should let her speak
what?
about it and let me
Take
go.
her up. No, take her right here. What the heck? We're going to wing it.
Hey, kiddo. And we're trying to call you on our Skype, so you keep hanging up on us.
But it's I don't think she's hearing us. Oh, you know what? I got it.
Here you go.
Call her up. We are winging this like you've never going to believe. Is this Audrey? Is this Audrey? Oh, hey Deb, it's Jeff Belanger. How are you? Hello. If you could pick up that Skype. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? If you pick that up.
Hello.
We can hear you just fine. So we're going to really wing this the old-fashioned way. I'm going to talk to you on this cell phone. Can you pass the questions along?
Breaking up a little bit. I can barely hear you.
Okay, well, we can hear you just fine. Please don't hang up. Oh, she hung up. Hey, when we call you on Skype, can you not hang up? Because we can hear you just fine. We'll talk through this phone. If you could just ask her not to hang, we can hear you just fine.
I just put all kinds of weird noise when I picked up that phone.
Okay, this isn't going.
Live television, folks. You don't get this that often.
All right, I think we were hoping to talk to you through this phone and have you just talk the other way through Skype, but I don't. Yeah, all right, well, we'll try another time. Thanks so much. All right, bye-bye.
Jeff, there's a black helicopter hovering over the studio.
We're doomed. So what else is going on, Matt?
Little Bigfoot investigation here and there, a couple of ghosts.
We broke that on 30-odd minutes.
Yeah, we did.
Very recently. So you saw that Bigfoot clip that was played. You had the giant footprint.
Yep.
And we're going to go look into that a little more, aren't we?
I've already talked to Jason Lorifus.
Yep.
John Horgan scouted out the area. I have the exact GPS coordinates to the location.
Oh, there it is.
Exactly, very good.
Yeah.
And you and I will be heading out there this weekend to go reconnoiter the area and see what's there.
Yeah, I'm excited to go. We're supposed to get a little rain, which will help, actually.
Actually, yeah.
It won't help us because we're going to get eaten alive by bugs and very natural critters. But it'll help as far as getting footprints and possible other evidence. So that's kind of exciting. And plus, with all the greenery, we can look for broken branches and things like that.
Exactly. And I have a theory as to why we're starting to see this outside of the swamp. As you know, we pretty much had nothing but rain all summer.
Right.
That filled the swamp, making things deeper.
Right.
Forcing all of the animals that lived there to the outer periphery.
Right.
Which to me makes sense. If its natural habitat is now flooded, it's got to move out. So
right.
It's getting closer to human habitation. And to me, that makes it easier to find evidence.
Right, right. And and food, let's face it, animals aren't stupid. They're instinctual.
Right.
Think of what we've done to all kinds of other animal populations. When you present them with, think how many restaurants have you gone to and there's bear problems. There's bears in the parking lot. Because
like what happened to you at Mount Washington.
There's a photo of me circulating.
I personally witnessed him running from a bear.
Well, here's what we go to this restaurant near the Mount Washington Hotel, and they said, hey, there's a bear, right around the corner. And I said, well, let's check it out. So we're walking down, and there's Gentle Ben, big old black bear right there coming around the corner charging, and we go running for it. But it's an easy meal. The bear's not stupid. I can go fight for something, or I can just go to the dumpster every day and help myself. So it's interesting. If this is just a North American animal that we haven't categorized yet, why would it be any different? Why wouldn't it look for low-hanging fruit as well? So certainly part of it.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're still hoping that our main guest is going to make it tonight. It's just been that kind of night, and, woo-hoo. It is indeed live, folks, and this is...
I got an idea. Why don't we bring up the rest of the oddballs?
Absolutely. Let's all take a bow.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob!
How you doing?
Rob!
Hey, brother.
Good to see you. Good to see you. We'll all go down together. Hey, Sarah!
Hey.
Andrew, come on.
Come on.
Come on. It's going to be like,
It's the Titanic. We're going down.
someday when we're really big, this will be on the DVD extra.
We have no plans.
This will be like the DVD extra, or the show that totally fell apart because everything just dropped.
Come on, Cameron.
Come on.
Cameron, we don't discriminate.
Come on, kiddo.
Now, when we go out for beer after the show,
of the crew.
Cameron doesn't come with us when we go for beer. It's
No.
there he is. Look at him. Wave. Say hi.
Wave to number 3.
Hi, Mom. Oh, you're out of the shot. Get on camera.
There
There
you
you go.
go.
Hey,
Yay.
On the internet.
man alive.
Let's lick dry ice next.
Yeah. Hey, can we get the 2-shot just to show that? Wait a minute. We went through great trouble here.
Get out there, guys.
Look at that. How cool is this going to look if we have like a witchy guest talking about witchcraft and you got the cauldron? Man.
So do the show you were going to do.
All right. Well,
Narrate it.
2 threats.
Christian, go.
do we have any witches here? I mean, besides the hat? Well,
Actually,
right. Very good. Wiccan was so like 5 years ago. Am I right?
actually, a little over 50,000 years ago, but,
No.
let's not quibble.
Wicca only goes back a few decades. Come on, you know that.
Oh, well,
No,
the
Wicca.
modern...
Right. Good.
the modern version of it, but the origin of the
Sure.
the religion itself is over 50,000.
Right. It's one of the earliest forms of spirituality, paganism, and we're
Right.
going to just adjust the camera now. What the heck? Hey. It's a different kind of show.
Halloween episode.
Look at this.
The thing is, the camera's doing that by itself.
Yeah, I know. Who's doing that? Thank you, Andy White. Always keeping us on point in the back.
You had some supernatural going on. You went
Yeah. No, sorry. Trying to give credit where it's due. But anyway,
Yeah.
thanks for coming up here and
We'll light something on fire later, Jeff.
drowning with us. Oh, man alive. So this is a first that we have to totally wing a show.
Well, we can manage
We
it.
can manage it. How long to go?
Oh, boy.
Quick, roll the best of. Roll the best. No, but here's what I think is interesting about witchcraft. First of all, to some people it's odd, it's foreign, it's frightening. People that subscribe to more mainstream belief systems, and I understand that. But I think one of the things I appreciate about it is it's very hands-on. So, for example, I was raised Catholic, and when I was going to church, I would watch all the magic literally happen up front. I was a passive...
All the magic?
The ceremonial magic, the consecration, the altar,
Okay.
all that stuff happened up front with the priest. Oh, we might get our guest. Do we have him? This could be exciting.
Come on, Christian.
Very good. Christian, are you there?
Are you there?
Hey, can you hear us?
Microphone's still screwed up.
Can you hear me, Christian?
Hello?
Can you hear me, Christian? Oh, man alive. This is just how it's going to go. Thanks for rushing back. Can you do the microphone test under the help section? We'll fix that and come back to it. But the thing about witchcraft, right, is that
Yep.
it's what I appreciate about it is it is hands-on. It's very individualized. So each witch is doing what works for them specifically.
Correct.
They're taking the parts they like, they're leaving the parts they don't, and they do what works for them. And I think that's a pretty neat aspect to it.
If you think about it, so do other major religions. You have derivations of each religion. Some are more orthodox and some are
Right.
less orthodox.
Absolutely. But the whole thing comes down to intent.
Correct.
All right. So, and that's the same way, any religious person will tell you, if you're saying a prayer and you're just saying the words and you're thinking about your checkbook and all that other stuff. Christian, can you hear us?
Call him on his cell, try the same thing.
No. Hold on a second. Did the microphone test work? This is a great show.
Yeah, this is one of our best.
Great. If you go to help, all the way to the right, welcome screen, and test sound, check your sound, middle one. This is a tutorial show. Test microphone.
We're giving away all our secrets.
All right, now switch it from the hit that drop down on the right, and switch that to the next one. Line in. Hello. Try the next one down. Hello. Hello. There it is. So exit this guide. Isn't this great? We're just giving away all our secrets. Christian, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can't see you though.
All right. We can see you.
My hair. Humidity here.
All right. Hi. Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for filibustering with me. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Christian.
Yeah.
1 second, and then you just leave it, and we're good. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. I know you've had a hectic day. Christian is a Salem witch joining us from Salem, and he's also the proprietor of Hex, which is a witchy store there right in Salem. And what I wanted to talk to you about was, first of all, what is the? Oh goodness, bless you. You all right?
Allergies. The humidity really sets my allergies to a whole new level.
Yeah, it's been that kind of week for all of us. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for rushing back. And so talk to me. What is a witch today? I mean, I think that the traditional view, of course, the pointy hat, the green makeup, and all that other stuff. But who are witches today?
Well, what a witch is, they're a magical being. We're an ancient tribe of people that go back for thousands of years. And what it means to be a witch is to live a life of magic, one in which the spirits on the other side come to commune with you. So as a witch, you would work with the spirits of the dead and also the gods and ancient beings of old.
Right.
So, to do that is to be of service. To be a witch means that you have to use those powers that you're gifted with to help other people.
And so, can we literally affect the world around us? Can we affect outcomes with this ceremonial magic?
Well, absolutely. I don't even think it needs to be that ceremonial. I think that the greatest magic comes from within your soul, your heart, as it were. People often say the magic is from the heart because it's your way of interacting with the spiritual universe, and everything is made up of spiritual energy. So it's very powerful to let that out, and so if you can communicate with the world on an energy level, you can make anything happen. We're all within reason, of course. I don't snap my fingers and suddenly I'm home on time.
Well, that's all right. So talk to me. In your store, what kind of spells do people want? What are they asking about? Is it love? Is it money? What are folks asking for?
I think it's everything. People want, mostly these days, money, but it's really everything. A lot of people want money, they want security, they want safety, they want love, but I find that I'm one of the few stores that sells a lot of magic for sex, like sex potion, lust potion, that kind of thing. I find a lot of people now buy the sex stuff. They don't want too much commitment, they just want to have fun.
Right.
And a lot of people want protection. We sell an awful lot of red mojo bags and stones for protection. Wolf hair, we have wolf hair from live shedding wolves up at Wolf Hollow in Ipswich, which is a wolf prison.
Right.
So we're able to sell people products that have that magic of protection in it. And we try to be accessible to not only hardcore magical practitioners of every stripe, from witchcraft to voodoo to ceremonial magic to even the left-hand path. But we also try to be really accessible to regular middle American tourists that come from all over the country looking for that magical experience in Salem. So we try to make sure that everything in Hex is really described as what it is, so that if you're a magical practitioner and you look at the justice candle and you see the cloves there and you can smell the certain essential oils that the practitioners know are good for justice magic. But the regular person comes in there and says, oh, well, I got to win at court. We have 3 courthouses near our store. So if people want to win at court, they buy the candle. They don't know what's in it. So we try to be accessible to both.
So talk to me now.
You can learn how to use these things.
So now the economy's really been in a rough spot lately. Are you seeing a difference in the kind of things people are asking for as far as money spells and things like that?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to make more job finding spells, that kind of thing. Something that will allow people to enhance their careers. We do a lot of work for that with people. I mean, part of our store, we didn't just want to open a shop and say, here, go buy it and get lost. We really wanted the store to be a magical place that you could get work done. Not a hangout, mind you, because we certainly get those, and we try not to. But, something where someone comes in and is able to perform the magic at our altar. We're one of the only shops in Salem with a fully working, I think there are other shops with altars, but we're the only shop that has a fully working magical altar where people come up to it and they write messages and leave offerings for their beloved dead, their loved ones who have passed on, and also, offerings for the spirits of old and the gods of old, and they ask for help. There's a human skull on the altar named Robert, and people will often put their right hand on the skull, you put it on the skull, and you ask for something to happen for you. It's a form of necromancy. So people are always working in our store on what they're trying to achieve. And we have very magical people who work there. There's Johnny, and he's my main go-to guy, and there's Lisa, who's his girlfriend, and they're both very knowledgeable about not only witchcraft, but the old African-American hoodoo magic and root work and folklore. And then, of course, we have Mama Lori Bruno, and she's a Strega, which is a Sicilian witch. She comes from a family of witches, and she has ancestors who were burned at the stake. So her magic is very old and very continental, and different from what you see in the Wicca today,
Sure. Can you be a mainstream witch? Is that a possibility? Do witches need to be on the outside of society?
Well, here's the thing. I'm fixing my hair here. I'm all humidity.
It looks great.
I can't help it. I see that little picture with me, and I got to fix it. But, I often come across that divide of thought on the subject of whether witches should be a mainstream thing or whether we should be out on the fringe. But honestly, I think witches are by nature on the fringe. We talk to people's dead grandmothers. When's the last time you went into a church and saw that? We conjure up spells and lit candles to make things happen in our lives that are often immediate and quite astounding. What social group do you see that in? You know what I mean? What we do is automatically very strange. And so for centuries, for thousands of years, people shunned us for it. A common misconception is that Christianity invented the persecution of witches. They did not. Pagan, Greek, Romans, African, people all over the world in pre-Christian cultures persecuted witches too, because they knew that we had power, and they were afraid of it if it couldn't be controlled. So there have always been witch persecutions, and we've always lived on the fringe. There's another reason for that. The spirits recognize those who are different. I would venture to say some of your greatest successes on some of these paranormal investigations is when you have people that really tune in. They're those unusual folk who are able to really see and work within the spirit realm.
Right.
So I often recommend, like Hans Holzer back in the day would travel around with Sybil Leek, that ghost hunting and paranormal groups try to include a witch or some other form of seer or magical psychic person who can see into those realms, because they become a magnet. The spirits seek out the energy of life once lived.
Right.
So spirits hate boring people. They hate boring people. If you're boring, the spirits aren't going to want to be around you. Why would they? They want the benefit of life once lived. So what's the best way to attract spirit? Live.
Right, fair enough. Now, tell me, as a witch in Salem, have you ever felt persecuted? Have you ever had an example of that?
I'm sorry?
As a witch in Salem, have you felt persecuted? Have you had an example of being persecuted?
Yeah, by other witches.
Yeah, you're a catty bunch up there.
Well, there's always drama here. I mean, witchcraft in its modern form is a nascent faith that's still trying to define itself over the last several decades. And so whenever you have somebody trying to define what something is, you have drama.
Right.
You know, this was true in even modern iterations of ancient religions, like when you had the whole moral majority and the religious right. You often had wars erupt between various televangelists trying to define, well, okay, what does it mean to be a televangelist? And I think it's true in witchcraft. You know, often people on one end of the spectrum want to see witchcraft become very mainstream, just like every other religion. So they look at the weird ones like me, and they think, well, why can't you just dress in brown? How come you can't wear green? Well, I do wear green sometimes. I mean, in the summer, I'm in shorts and T-shirts. Believe me, if I could get away going around naked, I would. It's so freaking hot. But here's the thing. I know that the spirits are drawn to people who are different. It doesn't necessarily mean black, though the color black draws in information and energy. It's very powerful. It's a psychic color black because it's the culmination of all colors on the spectrum. So we're able to draw in energy as opposed to reflecting it back to the world. You know, white is a very reflective color, sends the energy back.
Right.
So, you know, we wear the black so we can draw that in.
Now, is anything off limits as far as spell casting with you?
Well, I think that one must have a sense of ethic. I mean, I say ethic because, you know, religion is steeped in morality. Which means thou shalt not, God says so, don't do this. Right. Even modern Wicca, which I'm not really Wiccan, I'm a witch, but modern Wicca has rules like, you know, harm none, do whatever you want, but harm none. They don't really say why, they just say that's what you're supposed to do. But then you have this separate, concurrent model of ethics that kind of runs alongside but often diverges from morality, one example of which would be in the Bible when Jesus said, do unto others as you would have done unto you. Well, that's not a moralistic statement. That's a very logical one. That falls under the realms of ethics because it says, hey, you should think about how you'd feel if it was you that was having this happen. Right. Well, I think witchcraft, true ethics in magic is that way.
Right.
You have to sit and think about each situation.
Christian.
You have to think about how is this going to affect me in the future? How is it affecting me now? And so if you're going to have to use something like a hex, I mean, I have a store called Hex.
Yeah. Christian, I'm so sorry, Christian. We got to really wrap this up. We're out of time. I know you really rushed for us, and I appreciate it, but we have run right up to the end of our time limit here. But thank you so much for coming on. We will have links to your website from ours, and we appreciate you talking a little bit of Salem witchcraft with us. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Take
All
care.
right, Christian. All right. Hey, let's hope those men in black don't have anything to do with us, try to take us off the air or anything like that, because sometimes we just, whoa, avenge me, avenge me.